yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boy, you love with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Beat in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Rage is like a weed.
We have probably received the biggest jump from fucking 40 degrees all the way to 90 degrees within the last 2 weeks. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Beyond imagination. I don't even know what to say at this rate, but we're going to get the air cranking sooner rather than later. We're going to get the air cranking sooner rather than later. And we are going to have a fun time here because in case everyone has forgotten, it's Saturday! You know what that means? We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms! And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the greatest fucking show on earth. Of course, we are streaming live on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. I'm still trying to work out the kinks to Facebook. I'm not sure what's going on with Facebook. Let me see if I can get into my Facebook group right now. Let me see if I can get into my Facebook right now. I don't know what's going on over here. What do we got? What do we got? Go down. Please go down right over here. Should be live. I should be live right now. Trying to make sure that I am. What's going on? Am I live on Facebook or am I not? Fucking ridiculous, this fucking thing. None. Unbelievable. I don't know what the fuck's going on over here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think it's something that we're gonna have to figure out at some point. I'm gonna have to figure this shit out at some point. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Melon. I'm going to have to talk to Philly Halftime because Philly Halftime, he's got the whole Melon thing down. So some may say he's even still learning as time goes on. I'm going to have to get this shit figured out at some point. But hopefully at some point we will be able to, work that shit out on Facebook. I don't know why. But regardless of that, I thank you all for tuning into this fine stream wherever you may be watching. Of course, it is hot. It is indeed fucking hot here on a Saturday in New Jersey. It is humid outside. I'll probably need to take a shower after I work out today. But I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. We are smack dab in the middle of April. Spring has indeed sprung. We are headed towards summer in a big fucking way. And I'm glad that you guys have chosen me to spend your Saturdays with. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. And of course, no one will deny this, the most passionate wrestling fan that you will ever fucking meet in your entire lives. But I thank you all for tuning in. We're going to have a fun time. We have a lot of news and rumors to discuss. We're going to go over Raw and we're going to go over Dynamite. I'm going to give you a little rundown of what has happened in NXT and Ring of Honor as of lately as well. No SmackDown or Rampage review, and the reason being is because I was in West Milford, New Jersey last night at ISPW Rage in the Cage, which was probably their best show of the year easily, and may have been their best show that I have personally seen since I started watching them consistently and going to the shows consistently. Easily the best show that they've done for me personally, which was capped off by what will easily go down as their best match of 2023. I don't see how anyone is topping this match. Crowbar and Rick Recon in a steel cage match for nearly 30 fucking minutes. Absolutely unbelievable. An unbelievable match between those two. I almost don't even have the words to describe what I witnessed. And one thing is for sure, and it's the fact that it will indeed live in the annals of history. Unbelievable stuff between the two. And it's always Crowbar. It's always fucking Crowbar that's coming out here with these match of the year candidates. You know, when he says he's timeless, when he says he is timeless, that shit right there ain't just a pretty fucking catchphrase. That shit right there is 1,000% true. That shit right there is true. And that shit right there is to be respected. And that shit right there is to be admired. The man is pushing 50 and the guy is still operating at a high level. It is unbelievable. But I will have those highlights up to you guys next week for sure. We have a lot of shit coming up in the month of May, including Backlash. I am going to be doing a rundown for Backlash, as well as a rundown for NXT Battleground and Double or Nothing. But we have a lot of shit to talk about right now as we are halfway through the month of April. It's ridiculous. We're going to talk about Brian Cage and him signing a new contract. We're going to be talking about Santana, and apparently he's still with AEW. We're going to be talking about a major change being made to a faction, and if you're watching Raw, you can clearly see what that faction is going to be doing going into the future. Of course, we have reports of Gunther and Lesnar reportedly working a match in the summer. The Rock is not going to be in-ring ready for WrestleMania 40 because he is reportedly far from committed, and WWE has apparently changed the name of the Saudi Arabian show going down on May 27th. It is no longer King and Queen of the Ring. We're going to be talking about why that is, and we're going to be talking about the positives and the negatives to it. But before we get into the festivities here, thank you all once again. Please make sure, if you're not already doing so, please make sure that you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. That is at HistoryMakerDJS. Both on Twitter and Instagram. Please make sure that you add me on Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email and I will get back to you ASAP. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook, that is. And I'm going to work on trying to get Melon to stream to the Facebook group. I'm not sure what exactly is the problem now and why it hasn't been streaming directly to Facebook. I'm not sure why it has to be an issue like this, especially considering that it worked just fine on fucking StreamYard before. But I'm not too happy about that, but I will get that sorted out for you guys sooner rather than later. Email is stormstakeover@gmail.com if you guys don't already know. So if you guys want to send me an email and you want to get my intention for a potential collaboration, please make sure that you do so. Please make sure that you're liking the stream, whether you're watching on Twitter, the Hardcore Sports Twitter, or my Twitter, whether you're watching on Twitch, whether you're watching on YouTube, my YouTube, or the Hardcore Sports YouTube channel. We have a very wide outreach as per usual. And Hardcore Sports, we are building and building towards 500 subscribers. So if you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you go subscribe to the Hardcore Sports channel. I have a feeling that a lot of you will be subscribing to my channel, but we want to help the Hardcore Sports brand get on the same level as the DJ Storms brand. We want to get Hardcore Sports to 500 subs and then boost them up further and further, all the way to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and beyond. So please go and subscribe to the Hardcore Sports channel if you haven't already done so. Shout out to Peanuts and the Final Hoss, who are currently watching right now. I'm sure we'll be getting some more people as the stream goes on. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, go and check out Brittany K. My girl Brittany K. She is phenomenal. She is an official sponsor of the DJ Storms brand. She's a good friend of mine, and she does beautiful designs on an iPad from scratch. Designs, drawings, edits of various professional wrestlers, including the likes of the House of Black and Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss, Karrion Kross, and Jon Moxley, and Brody Lee. Really, really, really good stuff. Ultra creative. She is mega talented. Please go and check her out. Both her Twitter and her Instagram links are in the description. So if you guys have not followed her yet on Twitter and Instagram, go and check her out, because she does phenomenal fucking designs. And if you are looking for a Twitter Abby, or if you're potentially looking for a new banner for Twitter, if you're looking for a new edit, a new logo for anything, she is your girl. She is your girl. Go and check her out. Those two social media links for her Twitter and Instagram are in the description. Of course, be sure, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, whether it be on my channel or the Hardcore Sports YouTube channel, and share it out on all platforms, social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok. Get as many people in here as possible. And after you hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel or the Hardcore Sports YouTube channel, you got to make sure that you hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube, because it's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination, this beautiful mustache right here. I touched it up, and we're going to light it up right here on the stream with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like fresh made panini hot out of the oven, steaming, I am just so good. Everybody, and I mean everybody, wants a piece of the Storms Meister. You already know the drill. Let me touch up this beautifully crafted pompadour right here. There you go. Nevertheless, enough of the chit chat. We're going to get right into the festivities here. Let's talk about the news and rumors and reports. Let me take a sip of my ice water first. Brian Cage. Now, earlier this week, according to Fightful, Brian Cage was actually working without an AEW and or Ring of Honor contract, and there were currently ongoing negotiations between the two. And this week it was confirmed that Brian Cage has indeed re-signed with AEW. It's reported that he re-signed a new 5-year contract with the company going forward. Brian Cage, if you guys are unaware, he is part of the Embassy in Ring of Honor. They recently just paired up with Swerve Strickland, which I don't mind at all. And the Embassy is the current Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Champions, and they will be for the foreseeable future, because I don't know who the fuck is going to beat them. Maybe Jay Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers, but I don't see that happening now. But I really don't know why some people, now not everybody, not everyone is surprised, but I don't really know why some people are. I mean, it's quite simple, and it's quite easy to figure out why Brian Cage re-signed with AEW and Ring of Honor. Tony Khan, listen, He can't push everyone, but at least Tony Khan knows how to treat people right when he does. Brian Cage re-signed with AEW and Ring of Honor simply because of Vince McMahon. It all falls on Vince McMahon. Supposedly, there was a hiring freeze put on hold with WWE. No new talent is allowed to be brought in. And apparently, they could very well be putting forth some budget cuts. They could very well be put forth some budget cuts, cutting contracts, making sure that some people are paid less, perhaps. I heard that Drew McIntyre's not happy. What about Drew? I mean, if you saw what happened last night on SmackDown, or what didn't happen on SmackDown because Drew wasn't even on the show, Brian Cage re-signed with AEW and Ring of Honor because if he goes to WWE, regardless of him being a guy that Vince would look at and he would probably pitch a tent in his pants, Brian Cage is ultimately a guy who is an indie talent. Brian Cage is ultimately a guy who is an indie talent that does all these crazy indie moves. He may be a Vince McMahon guy by look, but at the end of the fucking day, when you go to WWE is going to retrain you and water you down. WWE is going to retrain you and water you down. And if anything, Brian Cage could very well be running the risk of going to WWE and becoming a second version of Omos, where he's just a big guy that loses. Why would Brian Cage want to take the risk? He's staying with Tony Khan because at least when Tony Khan pushes a talent, he at least pushes a talent right. He just needs to get around to them. Plain and simple. I'll keep you guys updated on Brian Cage, but as far as now, Brian Cage, I could not see him going to WWE, even if Vince McMahon wasn't there, simply because of the fact that Brian Cage has really found his groove with the Embassy. The Embassy right now, they're doing some really good work down in Ring of Honor. They are dominating every single match. They're being presented so well. Prince Nana fits the gimmick perfectly. And Brian Cage right now, he's putting on some of the best matches of his AEW run. One half of the World Six-Man Tag Team Champions putting on banger matches every single week. And Brian Cage, if the Embassy is going to be on AEW television as well, I mean, holy shit, can you imagine some of the matches that the Embassy could have on AEW television? I am very much looking forward to a potential Embassy versus Best Friends in Orange Cassidy match, maybe a potential Embassy versus the House of Black. That's definitely a match that I would love to see. Embassy versus the Elite, Embassy versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. There's a lot more for Brian Cage to do on AEW and Ring of Honor than there is WWE, specifically because of the fact that right now WWE storylines, we can kind of see where they're going. They're actually very limited. I don't really understand why Brian Cage would go to WWE, and considering that there's really not too much to do as far as, the main event scene, because the main event scene is being crowded by Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Drew McIntyre is blacking out his Twitter, and Drew McIntyre removed all WWE mentions from his Twitter bio. I don't understand why anyone would be shocked that Brian Cage is not going to WWE. Because Drew McIntyre, he is essentially Brian Cage in WWE. Drew McIntyre just doesn't do all the crazy moonsaults and shit like Brian Cage. Moving on here, Rikishi, of course, is the father of the Usos and Solo Sikoa. He reported that Tamiko T. Fatu is currently taking bookings and fans can follow him on Instagram. For those who may not know this, Rikishi has 5 children. The Usos, Solo Sikoa, Tavana, Mona Lisa, and Jeremiah Penita. Also, another family member waiting to make a splash in the wrestling world is Umaga's son, Zilla Fatu, who's currently training down in Texas with Booker T. Now, I'm not really sure who Tamiko T. Fatu is. I'm not sure if he is the son of Rikishi, or probably Rikishi's nephew, Rikishi's cousin, I don't know who. But regardless, I mean, the NOI family is going to be tuning out professional wrestlers like it's fucking clockwork. Nearly every single fucking member of the NOI family is ultimately going to be a professional wrestler. I mean, it's just God-given. Just God-given. The NOI family is going to be around for decades and decades and decades. It extends all the way back to the fucking 80s with fucking Yokozuna and High Chief Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson and Dwayne Johnson. So for anyone that's shocked about this, I mean, no, nobody should be shocked that more NOIs are being trained to enter into the wrestling business. Now, where do they go? I don't know, because right now it seems as though Solo Sikoa is the future of the NOI family when it comes to the WWE. I mean, we even have an NOI family member at ISPW, Alpha Jr., the Big Oos, who is great, by the way. Alpha Jr. will actually be facing off against Gene Snitsky over at ISPW Rock and Wrestling in the Menon Arena on May 6th, which I will be there for. I will not be watching or tweeting about Backlash live because I will be at the Menon Arena all day. I'm planning on setting up a table. I may do a live show from the Menon Arena. Myself. But regardless, back to the NOI family, I guess we'll have to wait and see what can come out of Tamiko T. Fatu or Zilla Fatu. Zilla Fatu, I believe, got arrested as well, so I don't know how that is going to affect his professional wrestling career in the long run, but we will have to wait and see. Shout out to Dee, by the way, who is currently in the chat. She is my #1 mod. Thank you very much for joining, hun. According to Fightful Select, Santana is currently still under contract with AEW. There is also note that they have been paying him throughout the duration of his injury, which is a real classy act by Tony Khan, I must say. Santana, if you guys don't know, Santana, he was originally a part of Proud and Powerful with Ortiz, but they had a falling out. I am not sure why they had a falling out. That is private reasons. Conan has even mentioned that they're not on good terms and they had a falling out, which again, not really our business. Nothing has been made public. And Santana, he has actually wanted to branch out and do his own thing. And become a single star, explore free agency, explore the independent scene. Ortiz has kind of gotten comfortable in AEW because he gets paid there and, he does what he needs to do. Ortiz actually put on a very entertaining match with Brian Cage not too long ago on Ring of Honor television. So Ortiz clearly is comfortable in what he's doing. He is not over the top and stressed about anything concerning the future of his career because he's making money and he can support himself and his family. Santana is a little bit different. Santana wants to take a chance on himself. And for those of you that do not know, Santana has been injured since June of last year. He's been injured since June of last year because he was involved in the blood and guts match with the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, and himself and Ortiz and Eddie Kingston, and they fought the Jericho Appreciation Society in what was one hell of a fucking match. It actually ranked #2 on my top 10 best matches of 2022. Amazing fucking match. And apparently he was planning on leaving because his contract expired on June 30th, which was the next day after Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts took place, of course, on June 29th. Santana, he's been paid throughout the duration of his injury. Apparently, he is still under contract with AEW. I am not sure what this means. I'm not sure if he is just serving time that he was supposed to serve during his injury, or they added time during his injury because his contract was going to expire and then they added some time because of the injury. Maybe they're holding out for Ortiz and Santana to squash whatever beef is going on between the two. I don't know. Again, it's really not our business. But, you know, if I was Santana, I would really strongly consider staying under Tony Khan because there's a lot of different options now. With Ring of Honor starting up the television show, there's a lot of different places on the card that they could go. They could very well remain on AEW television. They could very well go for the AEW World Tag Team titles. I'm not sure if that is a definite, but I would definitely stay under Tony Khan if I was Santana. Since you got Ring of Honor in there as well, if Ortiz appeared on Ring of Honor, Santana can appear on Ring of Honor too. We could see Santana and Ortiz reform over there if they squash the beef, which I genuinely hope they do because they are such a great tag team. They are such a great tag team. I don't know if they will squash the beef because, again, Santana wants to take a chance on himself, but with the Ring of Honor in there and with AEW and the tag team division kind of being an open field right now across both brands, and Vince McMahon obviously coming back, I'm not really sure where Ortiz is going to go. If he wants to become a single star, he's going to become a single star in the independent scene. Santana ain't going to go to WWE and be successful. He's not. How many other fucking people have gone to WWE thinking that they were going to be successful and they fucking failed? And they had all the fucking God-given talent in the world. So if I was Santana, I would stay under TK and I would hopefully reform Proud and Powerful. At this rate, C deal with Santana, we are going to have to hold off to see what comes out of this whole Santana-Ortiz ordeal. Here's something that I actually find very interesting. Wrestling prodigy and new Defy champion Nick Wayne will be making his debut on July 12th, AEW Dynamite, just days after his 18th birthday. Of course, Nick Wayne signed a contract with AEW a couple of years ago that will come into full effect when he turns 18. Nick Wayne, of course, is a 17-year-old prodigy. He's been tearing it up on the independent scene. He put on one hell of a fucking banger with Will Ospreay. So Nick Wayne, he is very good at what he does, and I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing what he has to offer on AEW. His opponent will be Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland actually lost the Defy Championship to Nick Wayne last Saturday in Seattle. Strickland called his shot for a rematch on Dynamite on July 12th in Saskatoon. I can never pronounce these fucking names. I'm probably going to butcher it terribly. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. That is when the rematch for the Defy Championship will take place, July 12th, just days after Nick Wayne's 18th birthday. You know what I find funny? I find it funny and quite pathetic how there are so many people that just want to shit on Tony Khan for every little thing. And there were a couple people that even shit on Tony Khan for signing Nick Wayne. Tony Khan's got his own problems to worry about. There are plenty of problems that Tony Khan needs to correct. And there's plenty of shit that Tony Khan needs to work on straightening out, ironing out the kinks, and making sure everything goes as smoothly as possible, making all of his television shows must-watch. Plenty of shit that he needs to do, not oversaturating the shows. Trust me, I know. Tony Khan ain't perfect, but I don't understand how you can shit on Tony Khan for thinking about the future. One of the best things about professional wrestling is seeing new talent come on in, and we know nothing about them, and in the end, they end up impressing the shit out of all of us. I'll give you an example. Last night at ISPW Rage in the Cage, and you'll see it on my blog, there was this one guy that I've never even heard of. His name was Matt Hayter. He fought TJ Epics at the ISPW Rage in the Cage show last night in West Milford. I knew nothing about Matt Hayter. And then after the match, I was like, okay, this guy can wrestle. This guy ain't bad at all. I went up to him after the match. I shook his hand. I told him that I was impressed with him. That's the best thing about professional wrestling, or at least one of the best things about professional wrestling. Seeing a guy that we know absolutely nothing about come on in. We have no idea who he is or what he's capable of. We see him wrestle in a match. He ends up impressing the shit out of everyone. And then everyone ultimately ends up eating their words. And I do have a feeling that's what Nick Wayne is going to do. That's what happened with Elio Del Vikingo. Everyone was eating their fucking words after what happened with Elio Delvin Kingo. And Conan is very generous. I think Conan's a fucking douchebag, but let me tell you something. Conan's been very, very fucking generous with Elio Delvin Kingo, lending him to Tony Khan. He's actually fighting Dralistico for the AAA Mega Championship next week on Rampage. Holy shit. I mean, that right there is definitely a match that a lot of people are going to go out of their way and watch. I'm definitely going to watch that shit. But I don't understand how anyone could shit on Tony Khan for thinking about the future. Nick Wayne is the fucking future. And if he's this good at, what, 16, 17 years old, can you imagine how good he's going to be when he reaches 25 years old, 30 years old? The guy hasn't even hit his fucking prime yet. So you know what? I guarantee you right now, Nick Wayne's going to go into Dynamite. He is going to impress the ever-living shit out of everyone in Canada and everyone watching around the world. Logan Paul right now, he is doing some really, really, really good shit. Logan Paul is a fucking natural. He was fucking bred to be a professional wrestler. Logan Paul confirmed on his Instagram that he indeed renewed his contract with WWE. I mean, after his match with Seth Rollins, they would be looking foolish to not renew his contract with WWE. So I'm glad that Logan Paul is officially renewed in terms of a contract to WWE, and I cannot wait to see what he does going forward. I don't even know where he's going to fit onto SummerSlam or even Clash at the Castle. I don't know. I mean, for me, I'd personally love to see a match with John Cena. That would be great. Although I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think that we could very well see John Cena and Gunther at SummerSlam, considering that John Cena, he's never held the Intercontinental Championship, and I think that would be a very nice story to tell going into SummerSlam against Gunther. Gunther and John Cena fighting for the Intercontinental title. I don't see Gunther losing the championship until Clash at the Castle in September, which they should go back there. They should absolutely make that a yearly thing, Clash at the Castle in Principality Stadium, because Clash at the Castle last year easily was WWE's best pay-per-view of the year. Easily WWE's best pay-per-view of the year. Fantastic fucking show. So if they go back there, I would absolutely love to see a part 2 of Clash at the Castle and a part 3 with Gunther and Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. That's where I think Sheamus is ultimately going to win the title. But we could see Logan Paul and John Cena. If we don't see John Cena and Gunther, we could definitely see Logan Paul and Seth Rollins in a rematch. Maybe we see Logan Paul and AJ Styles. Not sure when AJ Styles is due back, but I would like to believe it's soon. He's actually recovering from an ankle injury. Maybe we see Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. That would be a phenomenal fucking match to do. Maybe we see Logan Paul versus a Drew McIntyre. If Drew McIntyre is still there, we'll have to wait and see. But there's a lot of different options. Logan Paul, he's very versatile. Maybe Logan Paul and Ricochet. Maybe Logan Paul and Finn Balor. Maybe we see Logan Paul and Finn Balor mix it up in there. Maybe Logan Paul and Edge. I don't know. There's a lot of different options that you could do with Logan Paul. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm very happy that he re-signed because the guy is an absolute fucking stud. I'll tell you who's not a stud. Shout out to Earl Cole, who's in the chat right now. No, don't worry, Earl. You're a stud. You're a stud, Earl. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you who's not a stud, though. Vince McMahon. He ain't no stud. It's a fucking sexual predator. That's what he is. So the sexual predator with the fucking Adolf Hitler, Freddie Mercury looking mustache, Vince McMahon has made numerous changes to WWE since returning this year. Oh, you don't say. You don't fucking say. Dave Meltzer noted that one major change is coming to a faction on Monday Night Raw. And if you watched Monday Night Raw this past Monday, you will know what I'm talking about. Meltzer is reporting that Damage Control is on the route to splitting up. Now, I know some people may have mixed thoughts and opinions on this. Here is Here's what I am going to say about this. Here's what I'm going to say about this. Do I have faith that Vince McMahon is going to do right by Damage Control? No. No. I don't have any faith that Vince McMahon is going to do right by Damage Control if they split up. Matter of fact, I would not be surprised if he deliberately had Bayley not go out with them last week on Monday Night Raw just to see them fail in front of an audience without the established star known as Bayley. Now, on the positive side, Damage Control has been a failure under the Triple H administration. That was probably one of the biggest failures of Triple H's run as head of creative. However, with them splitting up, that could very well be great for all three women, especially someone like an Io Sky, because Io Sky is absolutely fucking unbelievable at what she does. She actually won a triple threat match on Monday Night Raw to determine the #1 contender for Bianca Belair's championship. But I don't have any faith that Vince McMahon is going to do right by them. Could it be good? Yes. Will it be good? I don't think so, because it's Vince McMahon at the end of the day. I can only hope. I really can. I can only hope, pray for the best. But something tells me, I don't know what it is. Something in my gut just tells me that after we get the split of Damage Control, we're going to see Dakota Kai and Io Sky. They're going to go on a little losing streak on their own. They're going to essentially become jobbers. They're going to get jobber entrances. If Bayley is reportedly on her way out, that's what I'm hearing. Bayley supposedly wants out. Supposedly Mercedes is trying to sweeten Bayley and butter her up to get out of there. This could very well be it. This could very well be the end of the line for Bayley in WWE. And you know what? After Vince came back and after all this bullshit that's gone on with the WWE, cuts are potentially being made. If Drew could potentially be on his way out, Bayley could definitely be on her way out. And when Bayley's on her way out, there's going to be nobody there that's going to advocate for the division. No one is going to be there to help advocate for women's wrestling and for the division. And everyone backstage is essentially going to be powerless because you got Ari Emanuel, you got Vince McMahon, you got Nick Khan, and all these other fucking assholes. They are essentially going to hold all the power, and all the individuals' lives will be in their hands. So I would not be shocked if Bayley leaves, and then afterwards Dakota Kai and Io Sky will follow, but they're not going to leave on their own terms. They're going to be fired. I can't be optimistic. When it's Vince McMahon, I cannot be optimistic. I can't. I just can't. I got a report on a potential mega match, or at least a mega match to some people. It's not a mega match to me, but we will be talking about it. I got a report on a potential mega match, quote unquote, that could be in place at some point this summer for the WWE. According to the WRKD Wrestling Twitter account, they reported that the idea of Gunther squaring off with Brock Lesnar has been floated around backstage. Now, these two could very well be set for a potential clash of the Titans going into the summer. However, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. See, if they're going to tell the story of Gunther dropping the NXT title to Sheamus, I'm not sure why they would do it at a Backlash or a Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, which is replacing King and Queen of the Ring. I'm not really sure why they would do something like that. I'm not really sure why they would do it at any other places but SummerSlam or Clash at the Castle. And if I'm a betting man, I would probably go with Sheamus beating Gunther at Clash at the Castle in September, because that would mark the 1-year anniversary of the absolute fucking war that those two had last year in Cardiff, Wales. And it would be after Gunther breaks the Honky Tonk Man's record as the Intercontinental Champion. Because if Sheamus wins the title at Backlash or Night of Champions, I'm going to ask, well, why the fuck did you even wait an extra month? Why did you need to wait an extra month? Why didn't you just do it right then and there? But if anything, if we're going to get Gunther and Lesnar potentially in the summer, which will probably be at SummerSlam. There's no other event to do it at. I don't see Lesnar traveling to Cardiff, Wales for Clash at the Castle. That could be, it could happen, but I don't think Lesnar wants to travel overseas. I think that at the end of the day, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in SummerSlam in Detroit, where Lesnar is familiar with. But if that's going to happen, then Gunther will have to lose the title to Sheamus at Backlash or Night of Champions. And if that's the case, I'm going to ask the question, well, why did you even bother giving Gunther an extra month or an extra 2 months as the Intercontinental Champion? Why didn't you just do it at SummerSlam? Really doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to do this at SummerSlam with Gunther and Lesnar, then I can definitely see Sheamus beating Gunther for the title either in Puerto Rico or in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. But I must pose the question here. Do we really want a Brock Lesnar and Gunther match? Do we? And I pose this for two specific reasons. Number one, I have mentioned this numerous amounts of times. Outside of Brock Lesnar's match with Roman Reigns at SummerSlam last year in that last man standing match, every single one of Brock Lesnar's matches in this second return run since he came back at SummerSlam in 2021, every match, minus the last man standing match with Roman Reigns, has been fucking terrible. It's been nothing but a fucking 4 or 5 minute finisher fest of spears and F5s with Bobby Lashley and fucking German suplexes and all this other shit. Why would you want that for Gunther? Why would anybody want that for Gunther? On top of that, with Vince McMahon in charge and the report that he was actually planning on sending Gunther back down to NXT and burying him on the main roster, why would you trust a match with Brock Lesnar and Gunther being booked under Vince McMahon? He'd probably job out Gunther in 90 seconds to Brock Lesnar. Why would you even waste your time? Gunther has brought prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther has made the Intercontinental Championship legitimately the championship. Matter of fact, I would even go so far as to say that Gunther's actually a better champion than Roman Reigns. Gunther is the best overall champion in WWE today, period. It's Gunther, and then I'd probably put Roman Reigns as number 2, and then I'd probably put Austin Theory as number 3. Gunther has legitimately made the IC title the championship. He has brought prestige back to that championship, and he could very well go down as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Look at the people that he's beaten. Madcap Moss, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre. The man is on the run of his life right now. Why would you take the Intercontinental Championship off of him too early just to put it on Sheamus in Puerto Rico or Saudi Arabia rather than waiting at the Castle? And why would you even entertain the idea of a match with Brock Lesnar and Gunther when Brock Lesnar has proven to be a lazy fuck? Why would you entertain that when Brock Lesnar has proven to be the laziest piece of shit in WWE today? Roman Reigns doesn't even work full-time anymore, but at least he fucking puts effort into his matches. Roman Reigns gave us 2 of the best matches of 2023, and we're only 4 months through the year. Brock Lesnar? What the fuck does Brock Lesnar have to do with anything? How does Brock Lesnar make television better? Is he a draw? No, of course he's not. If he was a draw, every show that Lesnar would be on would have at least 3 million viewers. Lesnar does not draw. No one gives a fuck about Lesnar. Monday Night Raw has been under 2 million, well under 2 million, with Brock Lesnar on the fucking show. Who the fuck gives a shit about Brock Lesnar anymore? He's a draw that's not a draw. Maybe, if he puts on a good match with Cody at Backlash, maybe I'd be a little bit more open. Maybe I'd be a little bit more optimistic. But then again, I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's a part of me that actually thinks that Brock Lesnar is just going to fucking run roughshod over Cody in 5 minutes. Especially considering Vince McMahon is back in charge, and clear as day, the possibility of Vince McMahon using Brock Lesnar as a way to punish Cody Rhodes, that shit right there is very, very possible. Anyone that denies that, I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking, but I think I might want to have some. You really got to get yourselves in the know. You got to get yourselves in the know. But maybe if Lesnar puts on a decent match with Cody Rhodes, maybe I'd be a little bit more open to a Gunther-Lesnar match. But as of right now, based on Lesnar's body of work since he returned 2 years ago, I don't give one single fuck about seeing Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. In fact, I would pay Lesnar to sit out the rest of his contract and then goodbye. I'd like to hope that this is actually the end of the line for Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar will not be seen on WWE television again after his current contract is up. I actually want to stick with the WRKD Wrestling Twitter account because apparently they reported that LA Knight is being discussed internally as the lead candidate to win this year's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now that is actually pretty interesting. That is very interesting, actually. However, despite how interesting it may be, I cannot get excited about that shit. And you know why? Look at what they've been doing with LA Knight on television. Look at what they've been doing with LA Knight on television. LA Knight was saying for weeks how he needs to give WrestleMania an LA Knight moment. And I gotta be on WrestleMania. And we gotta make history. LA Knight's gonna be on WrestleMania. Meanwhile, LA Knight wasn't even on the WrestleMania card and had a segment with him and Bobby Lashley completely fucking scrapped. LA Knight has been essentially a glorified jobber since 2023 began. LA Knight is reportedly being discussed to win this year's Money in the Bank. I will believe it when I see it. I will believe it when I see it. I don't have any fucking faith in WWE, especially Vince McMahon. This is the same guy that has been losing to Xavier Woods multiple weeks in a row. He even lost last night on SmackDown, I heard. LA Knight got squashed by Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. He hasn't won a fucking match this year. Why would anybody take LA Knight seriously and take this report seriously as, oh my God, LA Knight's going to get a big push in 2023? Look at what's going on television versus the reports. You don't need any of these fucking dirt sheets. You don't need any of these fucking Twitter accounts. You don't need Fightful, Meltzer, Ringside News, PW Insider. Watch what's going on television. Watch what's going on television. Then come back to me. I love LA Knight. I love LA Knight. Please, please, please do not get me wrong. LA Knight is phenomenal. LA Knight is easily one of the best acts on WWE television. LA Knight should be a world champion multiple times over. LA Knight would absolutely be a top candidate for me if I was booking the show to have him win Money in the Bank. But this is Vince McMahon we're talking about. If he's over here not winning a single fucking match this year, he's on a fucking, 7-8 match losing streak, but yet he is reportedly being positioned to win Money in the Bank? Yeah, I will believe it when it happens. Until LA Knight has the Money in the Bank briefcase in his possession, in his hands, I will not believe that LA Knight is being positioned as the lead candidate to win Money in the Bank. I will not believe it. I won't believe it until I see it, because when it comes to WWE, I always say, seeing is believing. You dig? WWE, they announced this week, I think they may have announced it just yesterday. They announced it yesterday as I was coming home from work, I believe. WWE has officially changed the name of the Saudi Arabian show next month. They are hosting a show in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on May 27th, the day before Double or Nothing, it was originally called King and Queen of the Ring. It is now being called Night of Champions. Now, my first thoughts on this, and when I heard this, I was like, this is absolutely a Vince McMahon call. Absolutely a Vince McMahon call. Oh, Hunter, Paul, Levesque, what are you doing? No. King and Queen of the Ring? What the fuck is this shit? No. That's a tournament. Tournaments suck, pal. You are not going to be doing King and Queen of the Ring on my terms. This is my WWE again. Yeah, you had a good run. But it's my time now. I've got the reins once again, and I'm the head of creative. We're getting rid of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. Fucking stupid. Initially, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Absolutely fucking stupid. I knew for a fact that had something to do with Vince McMahon. Now, could WWE still do King and Queen of the Ring? Sure. They could still do it. They could absolutely still do it. We'll have to wait and see what happens as far as King and Queen of the Ring goes. Will they treat it with the same level of reverence and prestige as they have in the past? Probably not. Because with WWE, the only thing that's being treated with reverence right now is Roman Reigns. And then if Triple H treats things with reverence, he's been treating Theory and Gunther. Those are the only three things that Triple H has been treating with reverence. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline storyline, Gunther and Austin Theory. Outside of that, nothing's been treated with reverence. Nothing's been treated with prestige and importance. But could they still do the tournament? Yes. You can make it all throughout the month of May. You could make that shit all throughout the month of May. And across Raw, you can do it across SmackDown. You do the draft. The draft is in 2 weeks. The draft is 2 weeks from Monday, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the draft is on May 1st. The WWE draft is on May 1st, which is right before Backlash. And then Backlash, they will wrap up whatever feuds that they're doing, and then we will go on into new storylines and new programs. After that, after Backlash, the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament could start. They could still do it. They could still do the finals on Night of Champions. We could have all the championships defended. We could have Roman Reigns. I believe he's going to reach 1,000 days. That they could have Roman Reigns on the show. Here's a question. Do we see Cody beat Brock Lesnar, and do we see Roman Reigns inevitably drop the title to Cody Rhodes in Saudi Arabia when he reaches 1,000 days? I don't know. Not sure. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. I am not sure if that's going to be the case. If it is going to be the case, I'd be shocked. I'd actually think that they would wait till SummerSlam on that. But either way, I'm going to say the same thing no matter when it happens. They will not duplicate what they did at WrestleMania, and it will not have the same impact. I don't give a shit what anyone's going to try and bullshit me. It will not have the same impact as it would have had at WrestleMania. Stop fucking kidding yourselves. But Roman Reigns will be reaching 1,000 days at the Saudi Arabian show. Will we see Roman drop the title then? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's a possibility that Cody could beat Lesnar, and then Cody could move on to a rematch with Roman Reigns. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. But as far as the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament, they could still do it. But at the end of the day, with Night of Champions being the name of the show and Roman Reigns reaching 1,000 days, will the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments be highlighted as much as they would have if this was Triple H booking the show? I don't think so. I don't think that the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament are going to receive the same level of appreciation and respect. And if anything, the one thing that I have kept on saying, and this could very well be a blessing in disguise, I don't know what the plans were for the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. I don't know what the plans were at all, but I say this every fucking year. I say this every time that they do a King and Queen of the Ring tournament. If the winner is not going to get a world title shot, and you're just going to give the winner a fucking crown, a robe, a fucking scepter, and a shitty-ass king gimmick, when there should be no such thing as that shit in 2023. That shit is overplayed. That shit is overdone. The last great King of the Ring that had a king gimmick was King Booker, or Booker, as he called himself. King Booker, or however the fuck he pronounced his own name. That was the last great King of the Ring that we saw in WWE that had a king gimmick. Outside of that, I really don't give a shit about anyone with a fucking king gimmick. If you have a king gimmick, you can get the fuck off television. If you have a king gimmick, I don't want anything to fucking do with you. It's lame, it's tiresome, it's cringe, it's corny, it's overdone. It is overdone. So if the King of the Ring winner, regardless, if the King of the Ring winner, no matter who was booking it, whether it be Triple H or Vince, if the King of the Ring winner was not going to receive a world title shot at SummerSlam, then you know what? They're better off not even doing the tournament at all. I don't want to watch a tournament in which the winners are going to get shitty-ass King and Queen gimmicks. Queen Zelina fucking sucked. King Corbin, King Xavier, King Woods, whatever the fuck you want to call him, all of that shit, it all fucking sucked. It all fucking sucked. I do not want to hear about anything regarding a king gimmick. I want legit stakes. I want a legit stake. I want legit prizes on the line. The prize, a world title shot. For the men, in this case, it would be a world title shot against Roman Reigns or whoever the world champion is, because there should only be one world champion. For the women, you can choose either the Raw or the SmackDown women's title. That should be the prizes, not a fucking king and queen gimmick. So if Triple H was going to do that, I don't know if he was. I would like to believe that Triple H knows a little bit better. But you know what? If the winners were just going to get king gimmicks, maybe it's probably best that we do not have the tournaments. I don't want to see the tournaments until the winners get title shots, not king gimmicks or queen gimmicks. That shit sucks. That shit is ass. But in the end, you know, it could be a blessing in disguise. It could not be a blessing in disguise. I do not know. I do not know. We'll have to wait and see. But it really does feel like a Vince McMahon move to me. The big report. The big report. The Rock. He recently stated in an interview earlier this year that he wants to hold out for a potential match with Roman Reigns next year at WrestleMania 40. He wants to hold out for a potential match with Roman at WrestleMania 40. Now, if that's the case, then Roman Reigns would have to be without the championship. Roman Reigns would have to be without the championship. However, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, he stated that he isn't too optimistic at all. He is not too optimistic at all about The Rock appearing at WrestleMania 40 and fighting Roman Reigns, because apparently The Rock isn't committed to getting himself into in-ring shape. He is not committed to getting himself into in-ring shape by the time WrestleMania 40 rolls around. By the way, Lisa just joined. Lisa is in the chat. Shout out to Lisa. Thank you very much for joining, hun. I've been trying to get in contact with you, actually. I was actually worried about you a little bit. I was worried about you, but I am glad that you are here. So The Rock is not committed to getting himself into in-ring shape for a match with Roman next year. And if I'm a betting man, that could very well be the key giveaway that, yeah, The Rock's not going to be at WrestleMania. The Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania. You know what? I can sit here and say that it could be a missed opportunity here and there, but I want you guys to think about this for a minute. Is The Rock really needed? Is The Rock really needed at WrestleMania 40? Is it? Because to be quite honest with you, I really don't see a reason as to why we still need The Rock at WrestleMania. I really don't see a reason. I really don't understand why we need to bend over backwards to get Dwayne on the show. I'm not really sure why we need to constantly hold out for Dwayne. And I would like to believe that there's a lot of people that would be very, 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 I don't know what the word is. I think people have become very, very tired of this agenda. There's a lot of people that have become tired of this agenda. They missed the boat at WrestleMania 37. They missed the boat at WrestleMania 38. They missed the boat at WrestleMania 39. They tried 3 years in a row. Rock did not want to show up. He was not ready. He was not in ring shape. I really think now it's time that we move on from The Rock and Roman Reigns. And to be quite honest with you, do we need The Rock at WrestleMania? No. The Rock is not going to be the end-all, be-all to WrestleMania selling out. WrestleMania, both nights, sold out this year. We didn't have Rock. We didn't have Stone Cold. We didn't have any of these aging fucking legends and shit. We had Trish Stratus, Lita, and John Cena. But for the most part, all of WrestleMania was made up of full-time talent. Ricochet was on the show. Viking Raiders were on the show. Cody was on the show. Roman was on the show. Gunther and McIntyre and Bianca and Asuka and Ripley and Charlotte, all full-timers. The majority of WrestleMania was put together with full-time talent and barely any legends. Cena, Trish, and Lita. That's it. That's all we got. So at the end of the day, if they sold out WrestleMania without The Rock this year, they can do it again next year. The Rock is not going to be the deciding factor on whether WrestleMania sells out or not, and it's not going to be the deciding factor on whether or not WrestleMania is good or not. Now, that could be a great main event for night one, but if you're asking me, I think that the ship is absolutely sailed on Rock versus Roman, and at this rate, they're just beating a dead horse. They're beating a dead horse, and they are just holding out for something that the other party is not too committed to doing. WWE may be committed to doing it, but if Dwayne is not committed to doing it, and you've already tried 3 years, I think 3 years is enough to know, yeah, we need to move on. Who cares? Who cares about Roman and The Rock? It really wouldn't make much of a difference at all, and the ship has sailed. Now, with The Rock not appearing at WrestleMania, if The Rock is not committed and he's not doing WrestleMania, which to be quite honest, like I said, it's not going to be the end of the world. That ship has really sailed. I got a perfect opponent for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. If this is going to be Roman Reigns' last year as a full-time talent, put him against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, that is the picture perfect, and I mean the picture perfect way to end Roman's career as a full-time professional wrestler. Rollins and Reigns came into WWE at the same time. They came in at the same time, and Rollins is the one to take Roman Reigns out and send them off to Hollywood. Rollins beats Roman in the main event of WrestleMania 49 #1, and Roman goes to Hollywood. That would be the best possible match for Roman at WrestleMania 40. Now, things could change. Things could change. Things could very well change. We could see The Rock all of a sudden get committed into getting himself into in-ring shape for WrestleMania 40 next year. Maybe we see someone new come up through the rankings. Maybe they're holding out for a match between Roman and Solo, because when Roman inevitably leaves, the top NOI in the WWE is going to be Solo. Solo, he has the brightest future. Solo has the brightest future because, look, Roman's already a made man. The Usos are already made men. The only thing that the Usos could do right now that I would find interesting is possibly go down to NXT. Because there's some tag teams down there that the Usos could very well work with. We could see the Usos versus Gallus, or the Usos versus Pretty Deadly, the Usos versus the Creeds, or Tony D'Angelo and Stax, or fucking Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. We could see a lot of that shit. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Now, I'm not sure if that's what we're going to get, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But if The Rock's not going to show up next year, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be crying their eyes out into their pillow. I think that The Rock, he has been great in the roles that WWE has used him back during 2011 and 2012 and 2013. But I do believe that The Rock, he's really far from committed to doing wrestling anymore. And Roman Reigns, does he really need to beat The Rock? Roman Reigns is already at a God tier like level. If you take this tribal chief run, that alone makes Roman Reigns a Hall of Famer. It doesn't matter what the fuck he did before then. Doesn't matter what the fuck he did before then. But at the end of the day, Roman Reigns, he doesn't need to beat The Rock, and he doesn't need to feud with The Rock. Realistically, it's going to do nothing for Roman Reigns because he's already here. It's going to do nothing for Roman. But those are the news, rumors, and reports. Those are the news, rumors, and reports. Like I said, I only reviewed Raw and I only reviewed Dynamite specifically because of the fact that I was at an ISPW show last night in West Milford, and I did not get to cover those shows. So I'm just reviewing Raw and Dynamite. I did not get to cover SmackDown or Rampage. I got to catch up on them later on in the day. But I hope you guys have had a good time thus far. Before we get into Raw and SmackDown, just a little brief rundown of NXT and Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is coming out of the Supercard of Honor event. Eddie Kingston, he's been dealing with a hernia issue, and we could very well see him go away and get surgery. So I hope that Eddie Kingston recovers as quickly as possible. Also, we got Claudio, who right now is on the best fucking run of his career. Definitely easily the best that Claudio's been presented. I don't give a shit what anyone wants to tell me. Claudio, what he's doing right now is bigger and better than anything that he's done in the past. Jay Leto, let me tell you something. I like Jay Leto. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I like Jay Leto, but ever since he became a fucking referee for that fucking loser Grimm toy show, I'm telling you, Jay Leto, my dog, you've been saying some stupid shit as of lately. Trying to tell me that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal win for Claudio was bigger than what he's doing right now and better than what he's doing right now. Let me tell you something, my dog. WrestleMania ain't the peak anymore. WWE ain't the peak anymore. We got plenty of options outside of WWE where you can go and you can make a big fucking name for yourself. Here's a fucking hard pill that everyone's going to have to swallow. If the win that you achieve is not followed up with and presented correctly, then it is not going to mean anything at all. Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 32. Is anybody talking about that shit? Is anybody talking about that shit? No. They're talking about what he's doing now. Right now is the best Matt Cardona that we've ever seen. What he's doing now trumps everything that he did in WWE. Claudio, he was made into a fucking mid-carder. He was put in a tag team with Sheamus in the bar, which they were fantastic. They were fantastic, but let's be real. That was pretty much a way to keep Claudio out of the main event scene. It was a way to keep Claudio from getting over as a single star. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to convince me otherwise there. So at the end of the day, no matter how fantastic the Bar were, it essentially shafted Claudio. It shafted Claudio. Claudio, within a month, was made into a world champion under Tony Khan, two-time Ring of Honor world champion. He has been putting on banger matches every week, presented like a fucking main event star, and he's involved in the most important storyline in AEW of 2023. But no, let's go hype up his fucking win at WrestleMania 30 in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that was legitimately forgotten about within 4 months. Legitimately forgotten about within 4 months. My dog, you really got to get your head on straight. I like you, but you've been saying some retarded ass shit. Really. I'm actually questioning whether I want you back on my channel again. I'm just letting you know that. Don't take it personally. Ring of Honor, Claudio has been doing the best work of his career. He's the biggest that he's ever been, no matter what anyone fucking says. And by the way, Jay, last thing I'm going to say, stop using money and finances to justify shit television. You can learn a lot from me. You can learn a lot from me. But Claudio, he's doing the best work of his career right now. I'm not really sure who the fuck's going to beat him for the championship. He put on a great match with Metalik this past Thursday on Ring of Honor. Great stuff. Athena is also doing the best work of her career. She's doing the best work of her career, and she is running roughshod over everyone as the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Ain't no one beating her anytime soon. We also got Mark Briscoe. He's trying to rebound from his loss against Samoa Joe. I'm not really sure where this storyline with Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal is going to go. We'll have to wait and see there. On NXT side of things, Grayson Waller is the new #1 contender for the NXT Championship. He won a great fatal four-way this past Tuesday with Duke Hudson, Dragon Lee, and JD McDonough. And Grayson Waller is fighting Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is now officially a babyface. Not really sure how babyface Carmelo Hayes is going to work out, because Carmelo Hayes, to me, he just has that heel persona and that heel attitude. But regardless of that, Carmelo Hayes, I believe if he is just continuing to show off his swagger and continues to be the cool, suave Carmelo Hayes that we know he is, as long as Trick Williams doesn't get involved in his matches like a heel would, then I think that babyface Carmelo could be fairly okay, as long as he is presented in the correct way and he's not a cringe babyface. But him and Grayson Waller, they will face off at Spring Break-In on April 24th or 25th? 25th. April 25th. That is NXT Spring Break-In. That is when we will get Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes. Braun Breaker, he is going off on a heel run, which I'm very much looking forward to. I think that he's going to own his heel gimmick. He's already owning it right now, and he's only had it for about a week. So that is really, really good. And then, of course, Braun Breaker, I don't think he's done with Carmelo Hayes. I actually think that they're going to milk that. I don't know why he's not on the main roster yet, but Braun Breaker, he has turned heel, and I do believe that he could very well be in a program with Carmelo Hayes, and that could be the match going into NXT Battleground on May 28th, which I believe is in, where is it? Massachusetts? Somewhere in Massachusetts, Lowell, Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, somewhere. I don't know. But regardless, that's what's going on NXT and Ring of Honor, and I will keep you guys updated on what's going on there. I got to catch up a little bit on Ring of Honor as well. And I do want to watch Rampage, because on Rampage, I do want to see Shawn Spears versus Jungle Boy, and I really want to see Aussie Open versus the Best Friends. I heard those two matches were great. Let's move on to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, a lot better than last week, I will say. A lot better than last week. Now, it's not a great show by any means, but we did get some build towards WrestleMania Backlash, or what is now being called WrestleMania Backlash, after that promo by Cody Rhodes. We've been getting some build towards Backlash. We got some solid wrestling on the show tonight, and we are going to be discussing that right now. We got Rey Mysterio. He kicked off the show. Rey kicked off the show and welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio talked about his crazy career. He talked about his crazy career, and he talked about the Hall of Fame. The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." The crowd was talking about how Rey deserved to be in the Hall of Fame before his son Dominic interrupted. Dominic interrupted, and he said that Rey never cared about him and that he's better off with the Judgment Day. He called Rey Mysterio selfish, called Rey Mysterio incredibly selfish, and he called Bad Bunny selfish as well. He then stated, did Rey, that the Judgment Day don't care about him. The Judgment Day doesn't care about him, and the Judgment Day is just using him. Rey said Bad Bunny will be back, and the Judgment Day will regret putting his hands on him. Dom said to worry about the Judgment Day, they will get him, and they won't have to worry about Bad Bunny, or you won't have to worry about Bad Bunny. Rey told Dominic, listen, I didn't want to fight you, but you know what? Now I think you should man up and fight me. Step into the ring, and let's have a WrestleMania rematch in Seattle. So Dom, of course, like a sniveling little prick, he goes, no, I don't want to fight my own father, but I know someone who will. And out comes Finn Balor. I don't mind what they're doing here. I feel as though this is going to be the end of the line for this Rey Mysterio Judgment Day feud. I feel like they just want to get this program with Bad Bunny in there, and then that is going to ultimately be the end, and then we're going to move on to something different. I'm not sure where Dominic Mysterio goes, but apparently Triple H, he's got a big push lined up for Dominic Mysterio, and if that's the case, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Dominic Mysterio does. I think Dominic Mysterio is fantastic. Dominic Mysterio really is a genuine heat magnet. He's a genuine heat magnet, and Dominic Mysterio, he knows how to be a fucking dickhead. He knows how to be a dickhead, and that's what makes him great. That's what makes him great. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they have in line for Dominic Mysterio, but in terms of this program, I feel like they're just wrapping it up. They're really just wrapping it up. You know, Lisa, I would be able to see Dominic in theory for the U.S. title, but they're both heels. They're both heels. So I don't understand how, they would do heel versus heel. But maybe this could be the end of the storyline. Maybe Dominic realizes that his father was right. Maybe we see the Judgment Day start to turn on Dominic Mysterio. Maybe the Judgment Day goes to SmackDown. Maybe we can see them feud with the Latino World Order. Maybe we see matches with Dominic Mysterio and Cruz del Toro, or Santos Escobar and Finn Balor. Maybe we see Austin Theory move over to SmackDown. Maybe we see Santos and Dominic in a triple threat match with Austin Theory. I think that would be great. But I don't think that Dominic Mysterio is going to be fighting Theory on his own, because it's heel versus heel. But it looks like we're headed towards a six-man tag team match at Backlash. It's going to be the Judgment Day, Finn, Priest, and Dominic versus Rey Mysterio, Bad Bunny, and Santos Escobar, which I have no issue with at all. But this match with Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor, this was a very good match between the two. Finn, with the Eye of the Hurricane, Rey came back with a baseball slide splash onto Balor on the floor. In the ring, coming back from commercial, we had a wheelbarrow bulldog crossbody by Rey for a 2. Balor caught Rey with a lariat and a shotgun drop kick. Rey went up, delivered a couple of headbutts to Finn Balor, and then delivered a Hurricane Rana off the top rope, and that got a 2 count. 619 connected on the money to Finn Balor. The 619 got him. Rey then went up top, and he went for the frog splash, but Balor got his knees up for a 2. Enziguri by Ray. Ray off the buckle. Dom then took the chain. Ray slapped him, or Ray stopped him, rather. He didn't slap him, he stopped him. Balor was then sent to the floor. Balor and Dominic were taken out by a suicide dive by Ray. Balor was sent into the ring. Dominic hit Ray with the same chain that Damian Priest gave to him, chain right across the head. And Balor went up to the top, hit the coup de grace. Balor wins. This was the right outcome. Balor needed the win. Balor beats Rey Mysterio, and we move forward. We are looking towards a potential match at WrestleMania Backlash, or Backlash, whatever the fuck you want to call it, between the Judgment Day, Bad Bunny, Santos Escobar, and Rey Mysterio. Lita apparently was attacked in the back before the tag team title match. Becky then brought in Trish Stratus as a replacement, and apparently she was taken to a local medical facility. There's that Vince McMahon-ism word. Fucking stupid. Nobody fucking talks like that. Nobody talks like that. We get Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. I don't know what the fuck happened here, and I really don't want to be that harsh, because I think that all four of these women are very good at what they do. I don't know what happened, but this match was fucking off. This was off. This was sloppy as fucking barbecue ribs. This is probably the sloppiest match that I have seen in God knows how many years of professional wrestling. I don't know what the fuck happened here. I saw more crisp and more clean wrestling at the ISPW event in West Milford last night, more so than I saw it here. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what the fuck they did, but every single woman in this match was off a lot. They worked. Listen, they tried. They worked, but it just was not doing it. It just did not hit. Very, very clunky, very, very botchy, miscommunication off the Stratus faction, and Liv Morgan was doing tornado DDTs off of Raquel, very sloppy. Raquel was trying to manhandle her way away from Trish. Becky Lynch did a diamond dust that looked very, very sloppy. And in the end, it ended up with Liv Morgan pinning Trish Stratus to win the women's tag team titles. So Trish loses the match. Probably the most shocking outcome of the entire fucking month, maybe the entire fucking year. No one would have expected Liv Morgan to pin Trish Stratus. So Trish was pinned by Liv. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez win the women's tag team titles, as if anybody fucking cares. Here's a spoiler alert for you. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody gives a shit. No one gave a shit about the match. No one gave a shit about the women's tag team titles. Liv pinned Trish in an unbelievable outcome, and this match was sloppy as shit, and we could see this shit coming from a mile away. Becky confronted Trish. Trish attacked Becky Lynch from behind with a very sloppy-looking forearm. It's like she didn't even give a shit. Very sloppy-looking forearm. Chick kick, and that was pretty much it. I was actually a little fearful that they were going to turn Becky heel again. God, we know how fucking terrible that was. Very, very scared that they were going to turn Becky heel again. Thankfully, thank God that wasn't the case. But Trish Stratus, I mean, I don't understand how anyone could be excited about Trish Stratus in this role when Trish Stratus, she has been very, very off. I actually think that Lita's been a little bit better than Trish Stratus. Both of those women, they really shouldn't be on television. They've been a little off since they've come back. The WrestleMania match was fine. But everything regarding these two women, Liv and Trish Stratus, they've been very, very off. I'm not sure if Lita's going to come back. I wouldn't bring her back. But apparently, Trish Stratus, she is now going to a program with Becky Lynch, probably going to take place at Backlash, and it will probably be the worst match of the night. Really don't give a shit. Listen, I love Trish Stratus. I mean, I could look at Trish Stratus for days, but, you know, the activities that I would like to partake in with Trish Stratus do not have anything to do with professional wrestling. The activities that I would like to partake in with Trish Stratus do not concern her in a wrestling ring, so I'd much rather keep her away from a wrestling ring. We need to focus on the younger talent. I really don't give a shit about this program or this heel turn. And on top of that, after the shitty-ass reason that they gave Brock Lesnar for turning heel on Cody Rhodes, I mean, I don't trust WWE to give us a decent fucking reason as to why Trish Stratus turned heel on Becky Lynch. Give me some stratisfaction in other areas of pleasure, not professional wrestling. Thank you very much. Bobby Lashley, he took on Bronson Reed, and this was actually pretty decent. Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed, we got a new fresh matchup, which I believe is starting up a new fresh feud. So Bobby Lashley, he is in a position where he's going to be putting over new talent. I actually think that's probably the best role for him. It's either that or maybe he goes into a program with Gunther. I don't know. But apparently they've scrapped the plans to reunite the Hurt Business, which I'm actually pretty fucking pissed about. We haven't seen Cedric or Shelton in God knows how many weeks. But this match was pretty decent. However, I don't feel as though they were going all in. This match really didn't have that oomph that I thought it was. But regardless, it was decent. But I feel as though that they're saving the big guns for the pay-per-view. So, coming back from commercial, after Bronson Reed hit a shoulder tackle to Bobby Lashley off of the apron, Reed with a big boot, Lashley mounted a comeback, Lashley hit a swinging neck breaker, and he got Bronson Reed over in a suplex, which actually looked pretty impressive. We had Reed being locked in the Hurt Lock. Reed fell on top of Lashley to break it up. Reed with a flying body block off the middle rope. That was very nicely done. Reed hit a big spine buster on Bobby Lashley. The Hurt Lock was cinched in. Bronson Reed got to the ropes to break it up. Reed sent Lashley into the post, and both men were counted out. And you know what? I actually don't mind this. Normally, I would shit on this, but I actually don't mind this because neither one of these men should be taking losses now. And it's a great way to keep the feud going. It's a great way to keep the feud going into Backlash. And that could be the time where Bronson Reed beats Lashley. Will he? I don't know, because with Vince McMahon in charge and seeing how they fucking fired Bronson Reed 2 years ago, I don't have any fucking faith. Cody Rhodes. Cody came out to address the WWE Universe. Crowd was obviously hyped for him, singing his theme song. So Cody asked, so what would you like to talk about? He goes, following the matches with Rollins, the torn pec, the Rumble win, and the WrestleMania match, after last week, let's navigate this fog. At WrestleMania 39, I lost. I lost to Roman Reigns. Point the finger at me. Now, listen, Cody, we're not pointing the finger at you because there is no finger to point at you. There is only one man to point the finger at, and that is Vince McMahon. Cody Rhodes was fucked over at WrestleMania 39. I don't really understand why he's coming out this week and saying, oh, yeah, I lost. Meanwhile, last week, he told Roman, I had you, and I wish that this, he pointed to Solo Sikoa, this wasn't always a factor. So you got Cody last week saying, yeah, I lost. And then you got Cody this week saying, oh, yeah, I lost. Last week, I had you. This week, I lost. Last week, oh, yeah, this guy's always a factor. This week, oh, no, I lost. Point the finger at me. Brother, I'm not going to point the finger at you because you're not to blame here. There's only one man to point the finger at, and that is Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon apparently thinks it's a bright idea to delay the inevitable title win that should be taking place between you and Roman, and you should obviously be the one to beat Roman. He thinks that delaying that will somehow make it feel more important, when in reality it won't, and it will only make things less impactful. He had the moment to pull the trigger on you, and you should have won at WrestleMania 39. You didn't. Roman Reigns is going to reach 1,000 days, unnecessarily, by the way. Roman Reigns is unnecessarily holding the titles hostage, but you're going to come out here and say, oh, yeah, point the finger at me. No, I'm not going to point the finger at you because you did nothing wrong. This all falls on Vince McMahon and nobody else. Vince McMahon is to blame for a shit booking decision. Cody should not have lost at WrestleMania. I don't give a shit what fucking excuses you want to give to me. They will not have the same impact at a fucking Saudi show or a fucking SummerSlam as they would have a WrestleMania. That was the time to do it. They missed the boat, and it will not have the same impact. Please, please, for the love of fucking Christ, stop coming to me with this utter stupidity. Stop. I lost and I'm sorry, Cody said. Vince should be the one apologizing. So, all of a sudden, he goes, talk to my good friend Matt, probably Matt Jackson he's talking about, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks. At this point, do wins and losses even matter in your career? And he goes, yes, they do. Yes, indeed, they do. He goes, you know, Mr. Heyman said, if he's going to challenge for the title again, he has to earn it. Cody said, you telling me that dismisses my whole career. I didn't just earn it. I am it. Don't know why the fuck he didn't say that during the program with Roman Reigns. Oh, wait a minute, I know why. Because Vince McMahon needs to make everyone look inferior to Roman. I wake up the next morning. I look for retribution. You offer innocence, and it's repaid in destruction. I heard Brock was upset at his placement on the WrestleMania card, and he was uncertain about me. He's uncertain about Cody Rhodes and the effect that Cody would have on him. Brock Lesnar is on his way out. Brock Lesnar is on his last legs. After this current contract is up, I don't see Lesnar sticking around at all. He's not going to pull a Ric Flair. The man is 45 years old. He's not going to wrestle till he's 55, 60. The man, after this contract is up, you have to imagine that he's done. So why exactly are we saying, oh yeah, Cody presents a different type of uncertainty with Brock Lesnar? Brock is on his way out. How could Brock Lesnar be concerned about Cody when Lesnar is going to get paid for the next 2 months and he's going to be gone? No sense. No fucking sense that makes. None. So Lesnar, when he looks in the mirror, says Cody, when Lesnar looks in the mirror, he sees a predator. And he sees all of us as victims. Cena, Rock, Taker, all victims. Am I scared of Brock Lesnar? Yes, but I still want to fight him, and I will not leave any doubt. When he looks in the mirror, he will see a victim. Brock Lesnar will see a victim in himself, my victim. So Lesnar, how about this? Face-to-face, one-on-one at WrestleMania Backlash, answer the call. Good promo. I don't give a shit. Good promo, but this match makes no sense. They're running with, oh, Brock Lesnar was upset, and now he's uncertain about Cody Rhodes. Brock Lesnar doesn't give a fuck about Cody Rhodes. Brock don't give a fuck about Cody. Brock Lesnar is going to be gone by the end of the year. He is coming to the end of his contract deal with WWE. How many matches did he say his contract was? 13, 14 matches? How many matches has he worked? 10, 11? He's coming to the end of his run. So why would he be uncertain about Cody if Cody is going to be continuing on and Lesnar's already on his way out? He's going to be sitting nice and pretty in fucking Saskatchewan. Stupid! Stupid, stupid, fucking stupid. But that's WWE television for you. Preschoolers write it. Usos versus the Alpha Academy. This, probably the best match of the entire night. This was awesome. And I don't know what it is, but it looks like the Alpha Academy, it's like they're getting over as baby faces. It seems to me like the Alpha Academy are really getting themselves over as baby faces. And you know what? I actually like that a lot. The Alpha Academy are really getting themselves over as baby faces, and I'm really, really, really liking the whole vibe of the Alpha Academy. And I definitely do believe that the Alpha Academy, they're ultimately going to be very, very, very successful baby faces. If WWE allows them to be. What happened to my mic? What happened to my mic? Am I good now? Let me boost the volume. Am I good now? Keep me updated, hologram. Am I good now? Am I good now? Hope to fucking Christ I'm good, because you're the first guy that complained about my mic. No one was complaining about my mic earlier. You know, let me. Am I fine? Let me see how I sound. Let me see how I sound on my fucking phone. Stopping the fucking show. I'm literally stopping the fucking show as I'm talking about the Usos and the Alpha Academy because I got to check my mic. Let me see let me see. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. How am I coming in now? Am I coming in okay now? I don't know what's going on. I hear what you're saying a little bit. Hear what you're saying. What is going on over here? What is going on? Let me check this fucking mic over here. Volume. Echo cancellation. Auto adjust mic volume. Stereo audio. What's going on over here? Speaker. No. Let me try communication. Speaker, headphone, no. Default. How about this? Now, am I coming in good now? Or is it different? Hang on. Let me check. What the fuck is going on over here? Communications, audio. Try this. Now. There we go. I think I got it now. There we go. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's fucking I gotta get me a new fucking laptop. I'm still getting used to fucking Melon. Give me a fucking break. Now we're back to normal. When did it go staticky? Have I been like that the entire fucking stream? Holy shit. Anyway, it was echoey. Usos in the Alpha Academy. I gotta tell you, if WWE allows them to be, Chad Gable and Otis could be really, 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 really fucking good baby faces. Really. Not even bullshitting you. If they give them the opportunity and they just let them be themselves, because they're just naturally entertaining. Chad Gable and Otis, they're just naturally entertaining. So if you just allow them to be themselves, they're going to get over. They're going to get over no problem. And it's going to be just fine. I think that I'm going to have to start if we're going to experiment with this shit,
with Melon. I think I may have to start bringing my green headphones, or bringing my headphones so I could see how I sound to make sure that I'm coming in okay. But regardless. So this match was great. Crowd was really getting behind Gable. They were actually saying thank you with Chad Gable. So Gable with an exploder, tagged to Otis. He lit up the Usos. World's Strongest Slam to Jay. World's Strongest Slam to Jimmy for 2. Otis with the Caterpillar. He nailed it. We had a Steiner-like Bulldog by the Alpha Academy. Jay saved it. Otis sent Jay to the floor. Otis was stopped. He stopped Jay mid-suicide dive. Jimmy ended up connecting with a suicide dive, sending Otis over the table. We had a moonsault by Gable onto the Usos. Diving headbutt, beautifully done. Jimmy kicked out. Ankle lock. Jimmy tagged in. And we had double super kicks and the 1D to Gable, and the Alpha Academy lose. A great match, but they lose. I didn't mind it that much. I actually thought that this was a great match, and the Alpha Academy, once again, if they want to, they could really do some damage as a tag team. As baby faces, if they want to. You know what? This is actually bothering me. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm back to normal now. I need to see how I was. In the beginning of the stream. I was fucking echoey in the beginning of the stream. Fucking unbelievable. Fucking unbelievable with this shit. I gotta focus on this fucking echo cancellation all the fucking time. Unbelievable. So, after that, we go into Michin versus Piper Niven and Io Sky. Number 1 contenders match. Michin with a suicide dive. Io with a springboard moonsault coming back from commercial. Niven with a backpack stunner. This was actually a pretty decent match right here. She threw Io onto Michin. Double cross body. Nice hurricanrana by Michin, Mia Yim. We had a missile dropkick by Io. Michin saved the match. We had a dragon suplex by Mia Yim. Uranagi by Niven on Io. Michin dodged Piper. Michin with a code blue for a 2. She went for eat defeat. And then Io Sky came out of nowhere with a beautiful double moonsault. A double moonsault. And Io takes out. She takes out Piper Niven and Mia Yim. She pins Mia Yim. And these 3 women, I actually wasn't expecting too much from these 3 women, but these 3 women ended up putting on a decent little match. Now, I wish that they could have gone longer. Matter of fact, I would have taken time away from the fucking terrible women's tag team title match, and I would have given these 3 women some more time. That's what I would have done. Don't know why, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. That's what happens. Whatever. So, in the main event, we had Solo Sikoa and Kevin Owens. Seen it. We've seen it. Good match, but we've seen it. Owens, he lost because Owens damaged his leg on SmackDown thanks to an attack by Solo Sikoa. Pretty typical match between Solo and Owens here. Owens fighting with his heart as per usual. Owens with a frog splash, Solo kicked out. Owens with a swanton bomb, Solo kicked out. Pop-up powerbomb, Jay with a super kick behind the referee's back. Solo with the Samoan spike, and Solo wins. Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle then came out, and they ran off the bloodline. 6-man tag seems to be coming at Backlash, and if things work out correctly, Backlash could end up being decent, as long as Vince is not booking it. But on Backlash, we got ourselves 6-man between the Usos, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle. We got Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. We got Judgment Day versus Bad Bunny, Rey Mysterio, and Santos Escobar. And if they want to do a title match, we got Bianca and Io at WrestleMania Backlash for the Raw Women's Championship. Then we also got, if they want to, Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. So they got a couple of decent material right there if they want to go forth with that. That was Monday Night Raw. Better than last week. Better than last week, but still a, it's a very, very low, boring fucking show. It is what it is. They're not really doing anything over the top until we get to the draft. Moving on here, we're going to do one more show, AEW Dynamite, and then we're going to get on out of here. Again, I did not watch Rampage or SmackDown. AEW Dynamite. I don't know what's going on with Milwaukee, but Milwaukee, this crowd fucking sucks. I'm telling you, I really wish that... I realize it's not very good from a marketing standpoint, but I really fucking wish that Tony Khan would not go back to certain cities, really, because Milwaukee sucked. They were alive at certain points in time throughout the night, but they were fucking silent. So some of these towns, I'm telling you, these fucking cities for WWE and for AEW, they really need to, think about whether or not they want to go back to certain cities, because this shit, I'm telling you, it was a very good show. A lot of good stuff on the show, but it's very, very hard for me to sit there and watch such a great match and great promos, and the crowd barely fucking react. Good show nonetheless. But this fucking crowd, I'm telling you, some wrestling fans are just so fucking lame. Lame! Darby Allin and Swerve Strickland. This was a great match, awesome match between these two. Darby wasted no time, over-the-top stunner, tope suicida. Darby with a swanton bomb onto Swerve on the floor. Darby was in control. Darby was then sent into the steps. Darby had his belt taken off, and Swerve whipped him with the belt. Darby was then dropped over the apron. Awesome spot, coming back from commercial. Flatliner by Swerve. Darby twisted the ankle and then bit Swerve's foot. He took the boot off and then delivered a heel hook, so the crowd was chanting, "You sick fuck." Swerve then got out. We had a coffin splash reversed into a German suplex. Darby came back with a reverse Rana off of the apron to the floor to Swerve, which looked absolutely fucking devastating. Absolutely fucking devastating. All of a sudden, we had a coffin drop. Prince Nana put Swerve's foot on the rope. Brian Cage came out to protect Prince Nana. Swerve then hit the house call. He then hit the Swerve stomp, and he sold the ankle. He sold the ankle because the ankle was the story of the match. Could not get to the cover in time. 1-2. Darby kicked out. The referee ejected Brian Cage and Prince Nana after he caught Brian Cage trying to trip up Darby. Aubrey Edwards caught it, ejected him. And then, in the end, Swerve, he was caught with a code red. Swerve kicked out. Swerve caught the Last Supper. And Darby got the win before MJF came out next. And this was going to be a big test and a really big statement to Darby Allin and all the Darby Allin detractors that he has out there. So, we had MJF in the ring. MJF was in the ring with Darby. Crowd was booing him. He said that we're in Milwaukee, which, by the way, he's right. Milwaukee sucks. MJF said Darby had an unbelievable match. He called Sting his daddy, and he talked about his match at Full Gear, which was one of the best matches that the company has ever produced. "You may be one of the best people that I've ever stared across a ring from," said MJF to Darby. "But I have two words that will prove that I'm better than you, and you know it. Headlock takeover. Headlock takeover. You think you can take the Triple B off of me? You are not on the level of the devil." Darby asked MJF if he's happy. He met him 6 years ago, and he said that all of his problems would wash away on television. Nothing has changed. In my first year in AEW, I checked myself into therapy. It mattered if my family was living beautifully. I bought my family a house and helped my dad retire. People. What's going on here? Completely went off. I don't know what happened there. He said, I refuse to get off and wonder who are these people that I let into my personal life. Of course, talking about all the strangers. He said, I won't get rid of my morals in order to make it. Darby said he will not get rid of his morals in order to make it. So MJF then said, Darby is an arrogant little boy. He called Darby an arrogant little boy. He said, I'm sick of you and Jack and Sammy whining about my morals. Morals kill careers in this business, and that's a fact. I mean, MJF ain't wrong there. He called Darby a gutless coward because you don't have the courage it takes to sacrifice your morals. You think I give a shit? As long as this, the Triple B, as long as this title comes with me, I couldn't give a rat's ass. My legacy will read MJF, the greatest of all time. Your legacy will be Darby Allin, Sting's bitch. Sting then came out and he said, Daddy daycare? That offends me deeply. I see myself as a cheerleader. I got a fever, and the only cure is more pom-poms. So he just kept on throwing these pom-poms at MJF, which I thought was actually very entertaining. He goes, all right, you know what? I'll stop right now if you stop about the Cody daycare stuff. And then he goes into this shocked face. He goes, oh, I said Cody, didn't I? Oh. He goes, the truth hurts, doesn't it, Max? You had a support system. So did I, Ric Flair. And then we went into a little Wolfpack sting. I still got a little Joker left in me. But I don't have a thirst for this world title because Showtime is almost over, said Sting. Showtime is almost over. But Showtime is just beginning for Darby Allin. Darby Allin will become AEW's world champion. It is Showtime. Darby then said, I'm leaving the man that reign of terror becomes AEW champion. Slap and off. This was fucking excellent fucking segment. These three individuals, they created an absolutely phenomenal promo, a phenomenal segment, and something that is going to be looked upon in the back as a segment that proved to everyone that Darby Allin can cut fucking promos. And I really think it is about time that people start putting a little bit more respect on Darby Allin. They start putting a little bit more respect on his promo game because he is very good at what he does. He really is. I don't know what's going on over here. I seem a little choppy. According to Lisa, seem a little choppy. I don't know what's fucking going on. I thought I had all this shit figured out when I switched out from Melon. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but you know what? I think I may need to get a new streaming laptop. I need to get a better laptop for streaming. I think I may be good now. I think I may be okay now. Let me double check over here. Let me double check. What the fuck is going on here, man? What's going on here? Am I good? Am I good? Swear to fucking God, this shitty ass technology. I don't know why. I don't know why. We're gonna get through the rest of the show here, because I really need to figure out what the fuck's going on. I need to get me a new streaming laptop, moving 1 frame per minute. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I really don't know what the fuck is going on. Fucking stupid. This shitty ass Wi-Fi and got this shitty ass connection. I don't know. I don't know why. I really don't know why. The last couple weeks have not been too kind to me when it comes to technology. Don't know why. We're still live. That's for sure. We're still live. So, we had Silas Young. He took on Powerhouse Hobbs. Hobbs just destroyed Silas Young. Quick and easy. Destroyed him. Just destroyed him. Just trashed him. Don't know why we needed this big hoopla. Yeah, I know, Lisa. I know. Technology, it's getting me all out of sorts. I'm not who I am right now. I'm getting all fucking out of sorts because now Melon wants to be a fucking pain in the fucking ass. I can't fucking win here. I can't win with Melon. I can't win with StreamYard. Fuck! Fucking win here. Why is this fucking connection connection blacking out on me? I don't know what the fuck's going on. I really don't. I don't. So Silas Young took on Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs just fucking destroyed Silas Young. We needed this match for the TNT Championship. Apparently, next week, we got Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs. Wardlow, he ended up returning, and he destroyed Powerhouse Hobbs. He destroyed Hobbs with a pipe. He destroyed Hobbs' car with a pipe, right? He destroyed Hobbs' car with a pipe, shattered his fucking windshield, cracked the windshield, shattered the fucking headlights, shattered the taillights, just fucking destroyed everything. Wardlow then came out, and Hobbs was pissed. We got a big brawl with Wardlow and Hobbs. Wardlow came out, and we had official wrestlers trying to separate them. Wardlow then powerbombed Aaron Solo off the stage. He powerbombed Aaron Solo off the stage, and that was pretty much that. Listen, I thought that this was a very good segment. I'm not going to lie, it was a pretty decent segment, but I don't really understand why this is continuing. Neither one of these men should be taking a loss right now. Neither one of these men should be losing. So I don't understand why we are in a scenario where we're booking this match again next week, and we have a scenario where one of these two men is going to have to take a pinfall loss. I thought that we were over this shit with Powerhouse Hobbs and fucking Wardlow. We need Wardlow to go down to Ring of Honor. Wardlow needs to go to Ring of Honor, and he needs to fight a whole new crop of talent over there. That is where Wardlow would succeed going forward. Hobbs should not be losing. Hobbs should be put forth in his own little feud, in his own little world where he's defending the TNT Championship and he doesn't lose a match until the fall. That's where Hobbs needs to be. Putting Hobbs against Wardlow will do nothing for either man, and it is very, very counterproductive. Honest to God, it is extremely counterproductive. I don't like this at all. It's great, but I don't give a shit. Wardlow and Hobbs, neither man should be losing. We need to put Wardlow in Ring of Honor. We need to put Hobbs on AEW television doing their own thing. That's where they need to be. Enough of this shit. Buddy Matthews and Orange Cassidy, the AEW International Championship. AEW International Championship, and my fucking God, what a match. What a match this was. Excellent. So, what the fuck's going on? fuck is going on? Again! Why the fuck is Melon glitching out? I gotta fucking give Mitch Kovsky a call again. I gotta get Mitch Kovsky again because Melon keeps on glitching out. It's unbelievable. I'm gonna fucking now. I think I may have to end up paying for a good fucking streaming service. I swear to God. I think I may have to end up paying for a good streaming fucking software. I really do. This shit's fucking ridiculous. Fucking glitching left and right. Unbelievable. Why? Why? It may honestly be my computer. It could very well be my own computer. It's gotta be. It's gotta be my fucking computer. It's unbelievable. Unfucking real. I gotta get a streaming computer. I really do. I'm gonna get it sooner rather than later. I will get it sooner rather than later. So, Buddy Matthews, Orange Cassidy. This was a great match for the AEW International Championship. Cassidy and his run as the AEW International Champion, this is absolutely the best run of Cassidy's life right now. And I don't know who's going to take that title off Orange Cassidy, but whatever he's doing right now with that championship, it is really, really, really fucking solid. Really fucking good. So, from there we had Orange Cassidy hitting a beautiful satellite DDT and an orange right out of the gate. What's going on fucking over here? It's unbelievable with this shit. Unfucking believable with this shit. I'm telling you. My Wi-Fi is good. My Wi-Fi is just fine. I think I may need to get a new computer. I gotta get myself either a PC, gotta get myself a new computer. I gotta. Fucking gotta, I swear to God. So, AEW International Championship, I'm gonna try and get through this shit. So after Cassidy hit the orange punch, he sold the arm. Cassidy sold the arm because he could not capitalize. The doctors had to check on him. My computer's fucking old. It's like 5 years. So I gotta get a new computer. Matthews stopped on the broken hand. Coming back from commercial, Matthews bounced off the top of the buckles. Both men were on the apron. Super kick by Matthews. Super kick by Cassidy. Matthews with a knee strike. Beautifully done. Matthews then stomped on Cassidy's injured hand. Matthews mocked Cassidy's light kicks. He mocked the light kicks. Orange Cassidy punched on... He hit the orange punch on the top rope. And then Matthews caught with a satellite DDT off the middle rope. And then we had a diving DDT by Orange Cassidy. Matthews kicked out. Matthews with a V-trigger. Orange punch again, but Matthews kicked out of the orange punch a second time. Matthews with a pop-up knee, and he delivered a stomp. I actually thought that Matthews was going to win the championship off that stomp. Mousetrap locked in. Cassidy just narrowly escaped for the win. Excellent match. Buddy Matthews is fucking phenomenal. Do I think this is the end? No, I don't. I actually think that this is going to be the beginning of the end for Cassidy, but I do believe that at some point, probably at Double or Nothing, I'm going to take a guess. At Double or Nothing, we will see Orange Cassidy versus Malachi Black for the AEW International Championship, and then we could potentially see none other than Malachi Black take that championship. He could be a double champion. Ethan Page was in the ring. He talked about Matt Hardy. He talked about his match against Hook and how he's been a mess, but I still look 10 times better than all of you Milwaukee hillbillies. So they wanted to know what Matt Hardy wrote in that contract. Cassidy and Matt came out, and Matt said, I did manipulate you because you're the biggest hole of the ass that I've ever seen in my life. If Hook defeated you, then we have a chance to be free from the firm. And if we win this match, we will be away from the firm forever. So Big Bill and Lee Moriarty then attacked. All of a sudden, Hook came out to help. He took out Moriarty, and he was eventually swarmed. All of a sudden, Jeff Hardy came out. And Jeff Hardy, he was the individual to make the save here. Jeff Hardy is back. He looks good. He delivered a twist of fate and a swanton bomb. And Jeff Hardy got the big pop, the big return pop. That was pretty much that. Now, I know this is a touchy subject. This is a touchy subject, and I know a lot of people are probably going to be asking themselves, was this the right move? Can we trust Jeff Hardy? I would probably say no, we can't really trust him. We can't really trust him all too well. But, I do believe that Jeff Hardy, I don't think that he's going to relapse within the next 7 months. I do believe that this is going to be the end of the line. I don't think Jeff Hardy's back for another long run. Jeff Hardy's mainly back because he wants to end his career, and he wants to have him and his brother end his career on their terms, and he wants to go out in a blaze of glory. He wants to make sure that they leave a positive, lasting impression on him at the end of it all. He wants to leave a positive, lasting impression on him in the end. He wants to ultimately be the positive role model for the young generation of wrestlers, and he wants to end his career right. He's going to have one last run, and in the end, I do believe that at the end of the year, the Hardy Boys are going to retire. But do we need him on television? No. Do we need him on television? No. Are people going to be flocking to television to see him? No. But in the end, I really don't think that Jeff is going to relapse at all within the next 4 to 5 months. I mean, I could be wrong. We can't really trust him, but these relapses that Jeff has had, they've been rather spaced out. So I do believe that we could be waiting a while for another relapse, but I'd like to hope that with Matt there taking care of him and making sure that Jeff is not in a position where he's going to be drinking alcohol or he's anywhere near alcohol, I do believe that in the end, Jeff Hardy is going to close out the career on the right foot, and they're here, and Jeff is back because Tony Khan's got to sell some tickets for Wembley Stadium. Ultimately, that's where this is headed. I hope for the best. I pray for the best. I love Jeff Hardy. He was one of my favorites growing up, still is one of my favorites, but I do believe that Jeff Hardy, he really needs to be watched upon. We can't really trust Jeff Hardy. I don't really have any trust for him, but in the end, we are going to wait and see what comes out of this. I hope for the best for Jeff, and my thoughts and prayers are with Jeff. Hope that he makes it through this just fine, and hopefully he will be ending his career on the right term at Wembley Stadium. He'll get to Wembley Stadium, then we end their careers towards the end of the year, maybe at a full gear. We'll have to wait and see. Blackpool Combat took on Brandon Nakazawa. ACC just destroyed Cutler and Nakazawa. Nakazawa was bleeding early on. They just destroyed these guys. Bulldog choke. and both men were being stomped on and fucking elbowed and just absolutely trashed. Absolutely trashed, absolutely destroyed. So, afterwards, Kenny Omega came out, and the Young Bucks were right behind them. Young Bucks, they gave the BTE trigger to Moxley. Moxley was taken out. All of a sudden, we had Matt bringing out a screwdriver, and they were going to do the same thing with the screwdriver that Bryan Danielson did to Hangman Page. But thankfully, we had the Blackpool Combat Club saving Jon Moxley. Dylan, yes, I know, the stream is lagging. I gotta get a new fucking computer. It's not in the best fucking shape right now. I don't know what it is. It's an old fucking computer. It's a shit computer. And I need to get everything back in shape. It's not something that I am liking. And hopefully, this shit gets resolved sooner rather than later, because I'm really fucking over all these fucking glitches. I thought I had that shit taken care of with StreamYard. Maybe it's not StreamYard. Maybe it's not Melon. Maybe it's just my computer fucking sucks. Wi-Fi's fine. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know. We're going to close out the stream here in a little bit. Riho and Sky Blue, they took on Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. Listen, this was a fine tag team match, but I got to point this out. There hasn't really been any full progression with the fucking Outcasts versus AEW original storylines. We need Hikaru Shida to come back. We need Shida to come back. We need Shida to join forces with Hayter and Britt. And we need to get a legit 6-woman tag going forward, because whatever is going on right now, it is not hitting like it really should hit. It's just not. Really isn't. We need Shida. We need Rosa. We need Athena. That's what we need. Keith Lee versus Chris Jericho. That was the main event. I got to be honest here. This wasn't bad. But it's like the crowd took away from this match, and on top of that, the wrestling in the match, it was fine, but it's like they could not live up to what the previous matches were. It's like they could not live up to it. I really don't know what's going on there. I'm not really sure how to describe it to you, but it just did not. It really just did not feel the way that it really should have felt. It didn't. It didn't, and honest to God, I don't know what it is. I honestly think that it may have been the crowd. It probably was just, maybe they worked together for the first time, and it was a little slow at first. That's another thing. This match was way too slow. I don't know why. So, Lee went up to the middle rope. He had a moonsault, but Jericho got the knees up. Lee with a big spine buster. Jericho, he got up and he locked in the walls. Jericho locked in the walls. Lee took out Garcia. We had a double lariat by Lee. Codebreaker was caught. We had a spirit bomb. Garcia distracted Aubrey, and Swerve came out of nowhere with a toolbox. Hit Lee with the toolbox in the head. Jericho pinned Lee for the 1-2-3 win. Could have been a little bit better. Really did not enjoy it as much as I would have liked to. Cole then came out, showed some respect to Lee, and then Cole slightly turned his head to look at Jericho, similar to what Jericho did to him, and that is where we are headed towards going into Double or Nothing. Jericho and Adam Cole, which I think is going to be a fantastic match, but ladies and gentlemen, once again, I apologize about all these glitches and whatever's going on with StreamYard. I can't even go on Facebook. I can't even fucking stream on Facebook. I'm fucking pissed. Hopefully that shit gets cleared up. You know what I need to do? I need to buy me a fucking digital camera. I need to get a new laptop. Hell, I need to get a fucking PC. I should really get a fucking PC. Because this shit is just not fucking working. I need to get a solid fucking PC with good fucking Wi-Fi. That's what I need. I apologize about all these fucking glitches, but ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. Thank you everyone for joining. And again, I'm not really my normal self, but I will be seeing you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow, me and Thunder, we got another drum cover going up. It is going to be Highway by Bleecker. If you guys remember, back during the rundown for SummerSlam 2017, we brought in Highway by Bleecker as the song for the official rundown for SummerSlam, and it was a damn good fucking song, so we decided to do our own separate little cover of it. That's going to go up tomorrow at 2 p.m., but nevertheless, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. Once again, I apologize about all the fucking bullshit with this technical difficulties and shit, but work on getting fixed. I'm going to put forth a shit ton of effort to get this fixed. And unbelievable. See, it won't even let me do my fucking ass. Won't even let me do my fucking glitching. Won't even let me do my fucking outro. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You already know the drill. Listen, Lisa already knows the drill. Lisa already knows the drill. You already know who runs the IWC. It's DJ motherfucking Storms. DJ motherfucking Storms. We are going to get on out of here. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you, Dylan, Lisa, Dee Dee, and everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.